Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
What's up?
Welcome back, everyone. Woo!
Hope you all had a happy Halloween. Woo!
Yeah, woo!
Speaking of Halloween, I know we talked about the Slash Street Boys last week, if you want to go back to that episode. But one of our boy banders released a new song.
Yes, do you know which boy bander?
I'm going to ask Lydia because Lydia is least likely to know. No? But you picked the right boy band, though, so there you go.
You know what? It's Kevin Jonas's birthday today on the day that we're recording this, so cheers to him.
Cheers.
Happy birthday, Kevin.
Happy birthday to my favorite Joe Bro.
Cute. Which
Um,
one is
It's
it?
Nick Carter. It's Nick Carter, buddy.
Nick Carter released. Sophia
Scary
sent a video in the
Oh,
chat.
well, yeah. I thought that was yeah, I knew about that one. I forgot. All right. Okay.
Okay. So it was a
sorry, the time
Halloween.
skipping here. I'm like, am I supposed to know that this happened? I'm sorry.
Yes, Halloween has passed us.
Oh, right. I forgot. Okay.
So the day before Halloween, Nick released Scary Monsters, and it was. I'm not kidding. The video, was it supposed to be an NFT for that other, that dog company, that dog crypto company? She knew.
I believe so.
But then everybody got to see it anyway, so I'm kind of confused.
No.
Okay.
It's a lyric video, and it's not for Suki Token, which I think is what you're talking about.
Yes, the weird little dog thing.
It's for the new zombie one. So this crypto is called Zombie Inu, and that's why the song is about a monster. That is at least my understanding. It's not an NFT. It's available to everyone.
All right. Thank you for sharing, because I was also a little bit confused.
I was also confused.
But yes, no, it was a pretty good song. It's a Halloween-y song.
It's hilarious, and it's so bad that it's good. I was laughing through the whole thing, but I love it.
And he had a TikTok dance challenge.
Oh, yes. I was saying
a few people did it. A few people did it.
None of us did it. We do have a TikTok if you want to check it out. There's, I think, 2 videos on there, possibly. Maybe 3?
There's 3.
We did a Joe Bro thing.
They're all more than a year old, but whatever.
You know what? Next time we're in person, we will. That'll be our goal, guys. We'll make a new TikTok. Lydia.
New TikTok.
Lydia's
a good goal to have.
TikToks with her Dorkalicious account.
Mm-hmm. I have been, yes.
So she's been doing stuff there, and Diane is knowledgeable in ways of the editing software things.
I am.
Oh, you are. Oh,
I feel like Diane is into TikTok, so she watches a lot of them.
I do.
And she was the one who knew Instagram and Snapchat and all that stuff. So I feel like
she's our social media
the 2 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Exactly.
Indeed.
I'll figure it out. Don't worry.
So, shall we get into the topic today, ladies?
Yeah, because it's a lot. It's a big one.
And
Yes.
we don't have a lot of time.
That's
This is a
right.
very meta podcast because it is a podcast talking about another podcast.
That's right.
Yes, so this is Brian Foote of HUMBL Nation. And episode 2 features our lovely boy, Nick Carter.
Woo!
So,
Nick Carter.
Carter. I don't know why I said like that. Carter. So
You're a pirate! Ahoy, matey!
you guys saw my notes. They're crazy detailed.
Very detailed, very thorough. Thank you so much, Lydia. I really appreciate this.
No problem. Do you want me to like take lead
Very
on this?
fast car dealer type talk you had one on there, Sophia.
We don't have a lot of time, that's why.
No, we don't. Okay.
Ouch.
All right. I'm just gonna like quick. Okay. Do you guys
So
want
I listened to it. Lydia listened to it.
I listened to it. I made some notes.
Okay. I made no notes. I listened to it while driving. So there you go. So I will defer to you guys.
Okay.
I don't know why I keep doing this, guys. People who are not watching, I am gesturing my hands in a double Italian.
It's almost like your jazz hands, the Italian edition.
I'm just gonna, from this point on, say no comment.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
let
I
you
am.
guys,
Yeah. I am gonna
because
say.
you know,
Yeah.
They always say if you have nothing nice to say, you should say nothing at all.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
That's true. Very true.
So
I went into this
read
not
between the lines of what Diane is trying to say here.
So I
I'm
went into
sure
this-
majority feel the same way, so it's okay.
this is what I'll be doing. Okay, if you're watching, you know.
drinking.
If you're not watching, you don't know. But
White clawed up.
okay.
So I went into this with very low expectations, expecting it to be very terrible, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was not. Mostly
I
because I feel
also
like-
went in the same way because I was like, oh my God, am I going to fall asleep to this? Because I have no idea.
really
But it
enjoyed
wasn't.
hearing Nick's voice again, and I feel
Yes.
like it's been almost 2 years since we've seen him, maybe longer.
At
So it's
least
just
2
nice,
years.
soothing.
So
Yeah.
just a disclaimer. I mean, I feel like we don't have to say it because we're all adults, but I'm going to say it anyway. So that way, this is not financial advice. This is we're just commenting on Nick and Brian Foote's interview. So obviously
Yes.
do your own research, blah, blah, blah. Don't hold us accountable for your stupidity, pretty much. Okay.
This is our reaction.
This is, yeah, exactly. And then also, what I will say what I really liked about this interview is the fact that like we got to see Nick. He wasn't on for the Backstreet Boys. This was Nick the person, which I thought was kind of interesting because we don't really get to that. We don't really lift the veil on that very often. So I feel like that, you know, if take that away from it, if you don't take away the information. Does that make sense?
And you can find the original interview on Spotify and YouTube, I believe.
Yes.
And it's Humble, spelt a weird way, I believe. It's without the E.
HUMBL. Humble. Yeah. Okay. So you want me to just jump into my notes, I guess?
Yes, please.
Jump in, my friend.
Okay. So, I mean, this might be a little bit dry. It might be a little technical. We'll break it down as much as possible. I had to Google a lot of stuff, so let's get into it. Okay. So this is Brian Foote of HUMBL Nation, and HUMBL is a startup company. It's a tech company focused on blockchain and mobile payments, NFTs, and ticketing. So NFT means non-fungible token. We'll get into what that means later. Okay. So essentially, on this podcast, this join the Humble Bundle Humble Bundle. It's not Humble Bundle. It's a different company. Humble CEO Brian Foote, alongside notable guests in sports, music, and entertainment, to explore how technology is changing the game in their respective industries. So, in the music industry, he chose Nick to come on his podcast. Okay. So this episode is 38 minutes long, and it's episode number 2. And like I mentioned, it's interesting to hear Nick not be a pop star. He's just Nick the person, which is nice.
I think it's good that it was 38 minutes because it was a nice around time to listen to this.
It felt super long, and I think it's because I had to listen to it twice to really understand what was going on. Because like halfway, the first time I'm like, oh fuck, and then the second time, and then I had to like go like into.
Did I listen to a different interview?
I thought it was only 38 minutes long.
It is. That's what I said. I said 38 minutes.
Oh, okay. So
But
you
it
found
felt
it
like-
long?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so
well,
glad it was short.
I had to pause and research. So that's what took me a long time.
Oh, okay. I
I
didn't
didn't really
research. I
even-
was like, okay, whatever.
Maybe I just glazed over the financial stuff because I was just listening to the other stuff. So I was
Did
just
you
like,
see my notes there?
I saw your notes. Yes.
Okay, all right, let's keep going. Okay, so Brian and Nick are now friends. And when I say Brian, I mean Brian Foote, not Brian Literal. So just so
Why
that
don't
we're
you
all
say
clear.
BF?
although I feel like Brian Literal is also friends with Nick.
Yes,
Part.
they are.
They've been working together for a long
Almost
time.
30 years.
Oh my god. Okay, anyways, so Nick has been in the music biz for 30 years, and in brackets I put please don't become a Lou, LOL, like Lou Pearlman, because eventually I feel like Nick is going to grow into Lou Pearlman, and I hope he doesn't do that. That would be bad.
Why do you think
How
that?
would he?
The victim becomes the villain.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, see?
Talent.
Okay.
But well,
Interesting.
I'm just saying, like, okay, for someone who's been in the music business for so long, you know what the pitfalls are and you know how to exploit them. That's all I'm trying to say here. I'm just saying, Nick, make sure to stay to your moral compass. Okay, that's my opinion. That's my
Okay.
opinion. Okay. Anyways, then he talks about the DNA album being released. The concerts have been canceled. Nick was bored and wanting to try a new thing, which is why he went into crypto. All right, and then Nick was the first notable celeb to ever tweet HUMBL.
Yes.
All right, interesting.
Very
Let's
excited about
put
this.
a pin. Let's put a pin in that because it's gonna come back later to another point I got.
Also, the first interview was with Gabby, who is that Olympic gymnast person.
Yeah, this was technically Humble's third interview, but they put it as their second episode, which is dumb.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. They put Gabby Thomas, who is an Olympian, and then Spencer Dinwiddie, who is an NBA dude.
I guess because Nick is friends with him, so he's like, okay, let's do the second one.
I don't know. I just didn't get that. I'm like, you slipped up, but okay.
Friend/investor.
Ah,
Right.
yes.
Not saying anything.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
yes.
true.
We'll get
True,
into
true.
that later if there is
Yes.
reason why Nick is here. Okay, so let's see here. Then Brian essentially goes over Nick's life and history. Nick was born in New York, moved to Tampa. He chose the Buccaneers over the Bills. Ha, sport joke. I'm a man. Okay. And
There's a good intro for people who don't know Nick Carter. I
yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So, like, most people just think he's from Florida. They didn't know that he grew up in Jamestown, New York, and like other things. Like, obviously,
Grew
Leo
up.
was there for a bit.
was there for a moment. I know, right? Okay, so then, so Nick, so he also told us that he has houses in South Florida and in Vegas. He said, I got little places everywhere, here, there, everywhere. So I'm like,
The Cheyenne, Wyoming. Did he own a place there, or he just visits there? Or was
Maybe
that
he
just like a
visits
random
there?
throwaway comment to like, ooh, Wyoming?
yeah, I didn't know.
Who knows what's going on with Nick?
Yeah,
really?
that's why, like, I'm just, when he says I'm here, there, wherever, I'm like, is this just a saying, or do you actually have houses? Because I believe that you probably have houses here, but whatever.
It's possible.
Well, he's lived in like Nashville before, and he's like
Yeah.
lived around, right? So
Yeah, this is true. So then obviously Nick auditioned for Mickey Mouse Club. Did not know that. That was a $50,000
you
contract.
didn't know
You
that?
didn't know that?
I'm pretty sure it's in the documentary.
I skimmed over. And then he chose
Oh,
Backstreet Boys,
yeah.
which was a good call. Oh,
Absolutely, yeah.
Hello.
Because the next year they stopped doing the Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah, exactly.
So he wouldn't have started the same year as Justin Timberlake and Carrie Russell and stuff. They had already they did it all for 2 years, right? With Britney and stuff. Or were they all there for just the
I
last?
feel like he said they were all there at the same time.
So then he would have just been like an addition to the cast. So.
Yes.
Maybe. Yeah.
But
From my
yes,
understanding,
support family.
yes.
How pissed do you think that Nick's parents were that they're like, hey, you have this $50,000 with Disney or this creepy man in a warehouse. You, 12-year-old boy, decide what you'd like to do, sir. Like, obviously, it ended up paying.
That's why you don't give the choice to a 12-year-old. But
That's right.
I mean, ultimately, he ended up making the right choice, I guess.
Because I guess if he would have done Mouse Club, he probably would have gone more into acting than singing. Although
Who
it's
knows?
not-
Maybe he would have ended up in NSYNC.
Oh, maybe.
Ooh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Like, yeah. I feel like a
Joey
lot of this-
Fatone's out, Nick's in. This wasn't- or maybe Lance.
Mm.
Lance was the last one to join.
Yeah, because
Sorry.
Lance is
But
blonde.
Lance has more of a bass voice. Like,
Also a good
what would
point.
we consider Nick's voice?
It's
I guess it's
changed
like-
so many
yeah.
times. Who the hell knows?
Sometimes it's rocky. Sometimes, yeah.
It's many
Fine.
things. Go ahead.
All right. So during this time in America, grunge and alternative and rap was popular. So obviously they went to Europe, and 1996 to 1997, pop peaked in America. Then they came back. This is all stuff that we know.
Did mention Canada.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, you mentioned Montreal, Canada.
Exactly. Yeah.
He
And
said
then
Montreal in a really weird way,
I'm
though.
glad he remembers we're alive.
thank
Yes.
you, Nick. I know, right? So then he says that he felt like an outsider with his friends. He was made fun of. He wasn't able to go to school. He was tutored. Life was tough for him. He didn't go to high school. He last graduated. The last grade he attended in person was Orange Grove Junior High School. But since he was a world traveler, he feels
That's a
like
grade?
it was what?
Junior high is a grade?
No, junior high school.
Yes.
He said the last grade he attended was junior high school. It's not a number in America. They're weird over there.
So if
Yeah.
he's 12, that would
I don't
probably
think
put him
that that's accurate, though, because he never went to high school.
No, I know
No,
that.
in junior high.
He means junior high,
Yes. Yeah, I said junior high school. Yeah.
but that's 6, 7, and 8.
Which
I
makes
just
sense.
verbatim what he said.
Which
I
makes
don't know.
sense. Yeah,
No, that
correct.
makes sense logically. But yeah, he was talking about how
Was he
he'd
in
come
grade
back.
6 or was he in grade 7? We're unclear.
No clue.
Well, you work in elementary school. How old are 12-year-olds?
They're in grade
12?
6. Well, it depends, because some kids turn 12 in grade 6, and then some don't turn 12 till grade
Because I thought
7.
you're 10 in
Nick-
grade 5.
Nick would have been
Probably
okay.
grade 7.
Yes, but Nick's birthday's in January, so
Oh,
he would have been 10 at the start of grade 5, and then he would have turned 11. And then in grade 6, he would have been 11 at the start of grade 6, and then turned 12. But then in the States, they also do that fucked up thing where like you can't start school till you're the right age.
Yeah.
But I think so. Like he would have his birthday's in January, so he would have started at the correct time. But like,
Yeah.
it's different for different people. But anyways.
Oh, right. And they don't always have the same school year as us too.
Right. So
Right.
then he would have, he could have, if he was 12, then he could have been in grade 6, depending if it was, after January 28th or not. Or he could have been in grade 7 if it was, September through January.
True.
Yes.
Lydia is confused now. We'll just go. He was less than grade 9 is when.
Thank you.
There
Okay,
go.
that's our.
And essentially he was saying that he would come back to try, come back from Europe, want to play with his elementary school friends, junior high friends, and they'd be like, what the hell, blah, blah. So he was an outsider there. And then when they became famous, then he was an outsider again. Not because people were chasing him, it was because people were making fun of him, the boys and stuff.
That's sad. It sucks.
That
right?
is sad.
I know. But since he was a world traveler, he felt like he felt like that was better, and he's like he got his GED on the road.
Diane is playing the violin for
I'm
anyone.
playing a tiny violin for our poor rich man.
Yeah, I know. Fair enough. And then Nick has children now. He's fully invested in their lives. He has a family focus. He makes them breakfast and drives them to school. He's pancake daddy.
Certainly documents that quite well on.
There have been many Instagram lives.
Like, no offense, there's 2 other meals that your wife probably takes care of along with other things, but
Well, no,
good
they get
job
that food delivery service. So.
All right, that's right, they do, yeah. Okay, anyways, so then Nick worked really hard at a young age to provide for the family he has now. That's what he said. And then it says his mom and dad did not focus on his education. Shady, but also
true.
But also accurate.
Yeah.
But also it worked out for him though. So it's kind of like you can't talk out of both sides of your mouth, bud.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah, so I don't know. Anyways, and then 2022 will be busy for Nick. The pandemic was good because he got to hang out with his family.
It was good.
I think he means in like it was a productive kind of way.
I didn't say that.
I don't know.
My words.
Certainly was not productive.
Okay, maybe that's not the right word. Maybe it was like togetherness with the family.
You know what? I should stop.
I don't know.
Carry on, please.
Okay. And then he said, each of us has done solo records or individual endeavors. So I think because I'm like, I don't think everyone's done a solo, but I'm like, oh, right.
Has Kevin done a solo album?
No, but he's done movies.
The movies.
He's done covers of things.
A movie.
AJ, Howie, and Brian. Yeah, I guess everyone's done solo.
Except for Kevin?
Kevin hasn't done a solo record.
No, right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but he's done.
Yeah.
But he's made
Movies.
Some terrible movies. So
Yes,
there
he
you
has.
go.
Yeah. Okay, and then it says Nick released solo albums, did movies, but he now felt inspired again. And Nick has also gained weight during the pandemic due to Postmates. That's the food
To be
service.
fair, everyone has done it.
Yeah, we all gain weight. Sorry.
Because that's okay.
Yeah, and then
It
Nick
is
is
what
doing.
it is, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're enjoying some life because what else can you do but eat?
But also, like, he's used to performing, maybe 50 shows a year, or if not more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if you're on
true.
stage for 2 hours of a show, you're working hard, your body, whatever, right? So
So when he's eating, he's not working off. Yeah,
He's not even close to being overweight, so
No.
relax your tits.
I know. Exactly. Yep.
because he's doing his
Maybe
intermittent
because-
fasting, Diane.
Maybe because he doesn't feel good about
don't bring up
himself.
the fasting. I'm going to put this in my mouth now.
Okay.
Okay. So Nick is doing another solo album, and his wife traded crypto, and that's why he got into it. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
So he was influenced by Lauren.
Yes, rich people doing rich things. So, because she comes from a wealthy family, I'm pretty sure, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Okay, so he says blockchain is the future, and Nick became an investor in this company, in HUMBL. So that's why he has a vested interest. Okay, remember I said we were coming back?
Hopefully he doesn't lose money.
Doesn't matter.
And
He's
even
rich.
if he does, It's fine because we just keep giving him ours.
Exactly.
That's true as well. Yes.
Exactly. And then they mentioned something about block 30. Could not find this. No idea what that means.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Okay.
Some
And
sort
then
of blockchain thing.
probably. And then Nick thought there was an opportunity to transition into this space. Nick wants to connect with all fans around the world. And he thinks that with those fans in places in one moment with blockchain, he can connect with them. And then
You can also connect with them via social media.
I know I saw that too. I was
That's
like,
crazy talks.
So many things.
why does money have to be involved?
It's a
But yeah.
long day to record this podcast.
I know. I'm sorry. So then they have the forecast for 2030 and 2050. And, you know, they're going to annoy all those day traders and millennials.
Day traders and millennials who want stuff right away.
I'm like, we're millennials, you dink.
I know.
Okay.
I was. Yeah.
Anyways. So then
Is he?
That was
I
Brian.
feel
That
like
wasn't
he's
me.
old.
he's older than us. So maybe he's not a millennial. Maybe he's a Gen X.
X.
Or, yeah.
Mm, mm.
41.
Okay.
What's the cutoff for millennial?
Isn't
I
it
feel like
39?
we're the cutoff.
Yeah.
I
Like we're
think
the
it's
older
39.
millennials.
Yeah, I think it's 39.
We're not 39. I feel like it's 36 or like 37.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, it might be.
Maybe.
Millennials were born
Shinzo
between
might be Gen X.
1981 and 1994 or 96. They are between the ages of 25 and 40 years old.
So
okay.
he's Gen X.
Yeah, he's Gen X. Yeah.
Bye, bitch. Get out of our millennial.
Yeah, whatever. Oh my
thing.
goodness.
We don't
All right.
want you.
Just make
Get out of there.
Scooching in my millennial.
So then Brian and Nick talk about Napster, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna get good."
And you're like, oh, you feel
Right.
old because that was so long ago.
I know this was 20 years ago. Napster was around, and so
What
then
the fuck? It's been that long?
Yeah.
long ago.
Holy crap.
I know.
You know what? I do remember it in high school, and I remember
Yeah, me too.
I remember getting into arguments because they're just like, because remember Metallica was super against
Yeah.
it.
Mm.
And they were all like, they're stealing our music, blah, 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 blah. And then you're all like, whatever, guys, like you make money on touring and other stuff. Like, who cares about your actual music stuff? Understandably now, a little bit older, you're like, okay, yes, the music is also an important part of it as well.
But let's think about this for a second. I have a note here, but it's topical now. Essentially, whoever is going to be streaming your music wasn't a big supporter in the first place anyway. If someone's a super fan, they're going to be buying your shit regardless, right? These are just
True.
for like the people who are like on the cusp of being like, do I like Backstreet? Let me download this. No, I know, right? You know what I mean?
It's an extremely valid point.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And
Remember how
just
we all-
because you downloaded things didn't mean you also didn't buy it.
Right.
True,
Exactly.
true.
And
But with-
just because you stream thing doesn't mean you still didn't buy it.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so again, in application to this, and this is like, I'm getting ahead of myself, but like, I'm only going to release my album as an NFT. Like, people would buy it as an NFT and they would buy it as a CD.
Yeah.
So you're a dumbass, but I'm just going to stop talking again.
Well, he'll probably do that. He'll probably
This
like
is very valid point,
This is
Diane.
all
I agree
very-
with this.
it's all very new technology, and I think he is going to eventually have to bend over, but that's not what this is.
But do you remember?
You know,
Okay.
bend over and take that CD up the crack. Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
yeah.
So let's
That is
rewind to
very,
Napster
very
for a second.
quickly.
Did you guys actively use Napster, or were you too scared of being
Yes.
sued? Because I feel
No.
like I used LimeWire instead.
I
Oh,
use
yeah.
LimeWire.
Same, me too.
I started on Kazaa, and then that
Yeah.
one like got shut down, and I switched to LimeWire.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the fucking Rick
And then
and stuff.
BitTorrent was like a big one, but
Oh,
you
yeah.
kind of use that
BitTorrent
one for like
was
movies and
amazing.
shows more.
Mm.
And then
I
you
would
would have to like, after you got your thing, because then everybody would have little bits of it and put
The
it
seeding.
together. And then
Yeah.
you would do the seeding, and then you would be a nice person and also seed for the next person. So you
Yeah.
did like TV shows and stuff like that. So they did make a very valid point in the beginning, because he was talking about how like Napster and as a musician, like all this other stuff. But then he said, like, really, that's kind of what led to all of the online music nowadays. Because
Yeah.
if you think of, they didn't say this part, but if you think about it, when you used to download the music, then what would you do? You have your big bulky computer, right? So then you would then make your own little mix CDs and burn them on the
Yes.
CD and put them in your
Burn
disc kit
CDs,
or take them in your
yes.
car. Or if you had like a really old, like right before the iPods came out, they had some MP3 players that you could kind of like put a few songs on. I have one upstairs that's shaped like an egg. I don't know. It was just cheap and weird. But
Yes.
that was like very early on in that. So that's kind of what led to all this online music stuff.
Yeah, he said
Yes.
Napster was ahead of the game, taking music to the digital world. He's like, tapes to CDs to digital. Napster was a great idea, which he's right. I thought it
He
was.
said in hindsight it was a great idea at the time.
Yes.
It was not.
Well, but the thing is, okay. So the thing is, when he was asked about it, he's like, yeah, it didn't really impact me. So I mean, from an artist's point of view, it was interesting to hear that. Anyways,
But it didn't impact him because of what you said. Because real fans are going to buy the CD anyways because they want to support you.
correct.
Right?
Yes.
So
And then he made
that's why
fun
it
of
didn't-
us for buying the CDs.
Yes, I was going to get into that. Yeah. So, okay. So they mention here blockchain is a binary form of commerce, giving direct to publish control. I think that means getting rid of the middleman in the music industry. I think that's what this whole thing is even about. And then he says, and then I said, Nick made a condescending remark about how some of his fans still use CDs.
Like,
Ouch.
what the? Come on. People like the physical
He
copy.
was saying how, like,
He's like,
when
you guys
you're
put it
now,
in-
Exactly. Exactly, Diane.
yes. But then Brian's like, oh, maybe we'll make some commemorative CDs. I was like, yeah, you should make some because
Yeah, why is that a joke? Come on.
Yeah. So he said Napster didn't affect Backstreet Boys because millennial albums sold so well. And I'm like, that's because they were CDs. LOL.
Exactly. Man, come on.
He also mentioned about how their album sold, I think, 1.3 million albums. I was like, is that the number, Nick? Is that the number you're going to go with there?
It's not 1.3 because NSYNC only did 1.25.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like 1.
So it was definitely under 1.2.
It was over a million, but less.
I think it was 1.1 actually.
And then NSYNC did 2.1.
Yes.
You know what? I wore this shirt on purpose today.
Oh, shit! All right.
I just thought you were being cute boy bandy today.
I thought you were too.
Nope.
I'm like, I'm wearing Harry Potter. I didn't really.
I'm wearing a purple bra. There you go.
Oh, sexy. All right.
Sorry, I'm wearing regular clothes.
That's okay. All right. So then they talked about crypto wallet, which I know what that is now because I had to set mine up yesterday. So essentially, yeah, if you're buying and selling crypto, you need a crypto wallet. It's very confusing.
You're selling crypto?
No, not yet. Just
Okay.
like I just set it up because I'm like, oh, this might be interesting. I haven't done anything with it yet.
So is it like an Apple wallet or whatever?
Yeah. It's just I don't know. It's the amount of identity that you need to prove that you're a real person. Like I had to do like so much stuff. It was crazy.
Wow,
So
that's crazy.
it's because like the Canada commissions are like a part of it, and they're like, we need to make sure you're an actual real person. I was like, okay, whatever. Anyways, so they talked about the crypto wallet. Then they're saying HUMBL is trying to simplify the blockchain for consumers. Then they said simplify use cases on blockchain for the consumer. We consider that a consumer packaging layer. No idea what the fuck he was talking about.
I
Essentially,
kind of tuned out for that a little bit.
I had to research it. So essentially, HUMBL. Okay, so there's digital currency. HUMBL is the company that's trying to get you to use it. That's essentially long story short. Yeah.
They don't think they're their own digital currency. They're not really.
No, they don't have their own crypto,
They
right?
do. They do now. I will tell you.
Okay.
October
Oh.
21st, they had a press release. I'll explain all that.
Oh, it took time to get to that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But in essence, what HUMBL is they want you to be able to just go to
service.
any country and just use it, whatever, and not have to worry about transactions and converting your money, which again, debit and credit cards do anyways.
Yeah, essentially they're just trying to be like the middleman between a consumer and a blockchain. That's essentially what they're doing. Anyway, so then and they say binary collaboration. So essentially lots of buzzwords without actually saying anything. This guy Brian is very talented at that. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
I agree, yes.
Wow. Okay. So then they're going to use Nick's solo album, and then they said something about metadata storage and ticketing conversion. So they're going to they're trying to move digital. That's why they're using this whole thing. So, okay. So then there's doing a HUMBL holidays. I'm like, oh, was that a leak? Were they not supposed to talk about?
Is that like the concert thing that's supposed to be happening? Wasn't there? Am I crazy? Am I making shit up?
No, you're not crazy.
Okay.
Because I thought there was something happening. Yes, didn't they announce something happening in December or something?
Oh, yes.
A listening party.
Yes.
Where every ticket will become an NFT, which is a non-fungible token. Which essentially, long story short, it's a non-replaceable thing. You know, like an NFT is like when you buy something on the internet, you're like, this is I have the rights to this, or this is my. It's kind of like, think of it like a collector's card. This is my collector's card. That's an NFT. Okay. Anyways, Nick is a collector of comic books and trading cards. NFTs are transferring that to the digital world, and then your tickets will look really cool in your digital wallet, kind of like a digital scrapbook. Yeah, it's kind of like
Nobody wants that.
if you look under Chinzia's bed, like she has all her ticket stubs. It's
I don't
essentially
have
like
all
that.
my ticket stubs.
You have most of them. And then Tom Brady's doing a lot of stuff with NFTs too.
Oh, he loves that. Yeah, he
Loves
loves
Tom
it.
Brady.
Yeah. Tom Brady.
Paper tickets will have web links to NFTs, so you can like screen, like there's like going to be a QR code, and you can have an NFT.
I gotta say though,
yeah,
is that right now in the world that we are living in right now, they are definitely doing away with in-person concert tickets.
Yeah.
Like the paper ones.
Yeah.
So like, for example, the Tie-Cat games, it's all digital in our Ticketmaster account. My mom has to download it to her Apple wallet, and then they scan it, the QR code when we go. Like even the Bulldogs tickets that I've been doing, like normally we'd get hundreds of these stupid tickets and I would always have to like cut them all up and then whatever. And now I just have to email them to people, and some people do not understand this concept, and there's a lot of phone calls to me, and I'm like, you need to look and you need to download this, and they're just like, so I definitely think there's a learning curve here, and I think that the COVID thing definitely pushed that, because I know they did have digital tickets before. The thing that I find is a problem with me, because it's me, is that I would really prefer to have a paper ticket because my phone dies quite frequently. So I don't want to be like there and not be able to get in, be like, oh, here's my special NFT ticket. Okay, I can't do anything because my phone is dead. So unless I'm going to start carrying like 4 chargers with me on like a dorky hat, maybe they should sell those.
It's fine. That's why you're with your friend whose phone is never dead.
That's true. Your phone is never dead.
Buy a battery pack or charge your phone or change your
But
battery.
she has, but then there's lots of chargers.
Honestly, I feel like
Let's keep rolling. It's 6 o'clock.
Okay. Then Brian says Nick is such a hard worker because Nick texts him at 7 in the morning. Nick is always trying to find the new thing that excites him. He wants to be invigorated and inspired. When it comes to technology, he wants to be part of that story.
Part of that world.
And then Brian mentions that Nick won the 2002 Teen Sexiest Man Alive. I'm not sure if that actually happened or if this was an exaggeration.
No, that happened.
That
happened? Oh, okay, cool.
The sexiest man. Okay.
I remember the photo shoot. It was in Teen People, I think.
Yes, Teen People.
Sexiest.
Sorry, I'm back to being mad at him.
That's okay.
Carry
All
on.
right. Hold on.
Hold on, let's see if I can find the picture.
Okay, I'll keep talking while you do that. Nick just wants to be the next thing, and Nick loves Tom Brady. Nick wants to be the Tom Brady of the music industry.
Is that a good thing? Because some people don't like Tom Brady.
Because of the
I think he
Deflategate?
just means like the
Notable.
and like won so many championships and blah. blah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then Nick
Thank
says,
you.
keep challenging yourself, keep doing something new. Which I think
Kevin has also said this, that they want to be like the Tom Brady of music or whatever.
Yeah, it's sweet.
Okay.
It's cute.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
then,
Thank you for that explanation. That makes more sense.
yeah, and I thought this next part was nice. Nick is impressed by fans that they still want to go back to live shows. He said, we had 50 shows, then we added 8 more. Fans are still holding on to their tickets.
Sorry, one thing. So the guy said 58, but then he was like joking, and Nick's like, "Oh, how did you know there was 8 extra shows?"
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, sorry. That was funny.
Yeah, no, it's cute. It's super cute. He said that fans are still holding tickets. Fans are ready to be entertained, and that's what he loves the most about what he does. It's not about me. It's about the person sitting in the audience that's having a rough day. They can come and disconnect for 2 hours at a show. If I can bring one person happiness with my performance, then that's all that matters.
I love that. That was good. Yes, I enjoyed
So
that.
sweet. It's like, oh my God. That's you, D. He's talking about you. Or you, Chinzi.
Nope, boo. I hate him.
Okay, I can't find this picture.
I'm throwing popcorn at the camera.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh my God. Wow,
then
Nick Carter, you really pissed her off.
So then it's continuing into a butt kissing session. Brian is gushing about Nick's music. I love your classic stuff. Your work has so much depth. And then Kenny's like, I'm not sure if this is like a sleazy businessman tactic or he's got a man crush. And I'm like,
Maybe it's a combination.
maybe. And then Backstreet Boys are transcending time. Nick posted someone rocking out to Backstreet's Back on his Instagram. I'm like, okay, that's cute. Then Brian says, is there a monotony to what you do? To which he replies, well, some of the guys feel that way. And I'm like, oh, which
Yeah, there's some
one?
good band shade there.
Who? Tell us.
But essentially, Brian was asking if Nick gets bored of always performing the same songs and stuff like that. And Nick said no. He said because...
Do you think he's telling the truth?
Yeah.
It sounded pretty... I feel like he's...
No, I'm just asking. That's all. I'm just asking.
He said that he's been off for 2 years. He's ready to perform anything, let's be honest. I'm like,
okay, that's true. Okay, that's true. Okay, I give it to him. I'll give it to him.
Play the harmonica.
The part that he likes about being on tour is it's like 18 to 20,000 people every day, so it's like a different crowd that you're there, and
fair.
Making connections, and then
every time he goes on stage, it's a blessing. He recorded the song 20 years ago, and he gets to relive that on stage. The crowd is exhilarating.
All right, fair. Sorry, fair.
And then Brian talks about how there's Nick moments during the show when the crowd is essentially louder for him. And then Nick says,
it was very
thankfully
weird.
there's fans of me out there.
What is like this shade towards the other guys?
I felt that Brian was trying to get Nick to admit that he's a fan favorite or something. It was like a really odd way of saying something. And there's I feel like there was no way Nick could have answered that in which he wouldn't sound like a douchebag. Like, oh, yes, obviously people don't scream for Howie or whatever, right?
But he did say there are some Nick fans out there.
Yeah, that was sweet. So. He's like, thankfully there are some Nick fans out there. That's us. That's all of us. All 4 of us.
Not Diane today.
Not Diane today. All right,
Diane's
and then
jumping ship.
Nick, come on! What are you doing?
He
Team
says,
Howie for life. No, kidding.
Oh my god!
Hey, what? Oh my
I'm
god!
jumping the whole band.
Hey man, you have no
band. I'm leaving the whole band.
Howie is
I'm a townie now. Okay.
I'm sorry. If you guys will notice in the back of Diane's frame, you'll see a
gonna
picture
throw
of
this in
her
the
and
garbage.
Nick right there.
There's a whole bunch of her.
I'm gonna
beside
take
her
it
hair
down
bun.
right now.
On the left of her hair bun.
Throw it out the balcony.
Okay. All right. So she said. So he.
Are you
he
allowed
says,
to throw stuff off your balcony? Probably not.
No. Why would you ever think that?
I would just feel so tempted to throw things off a balcony.
That's what the chair lady got jail time for.
I know. I remember that. Yeah.
I was thinking like lighter things.
I've thrown like leaves and shit that have like landed on my balcony. I've just like swept them off.
Do you think that they would then fall straight down, or they would like curve back onto somebody else's balcony?
Sometimes they fall straight down because I have cigarette butts on my balcony and I don't smoke.
Oh, boo to them.
Oh my god, a creepy man is smoking on Diane's balcony.
No, the people above throw them down. And they're not supposed to, but they do anyways.
For shame to those
I like
Anyways.
that have they were cooking
Keep
things.
talking before I throw this off the balcony.
Okay, don't worry. We're like almost kind of done. Okay. He said, my relationship with my fans is really special. I know their names. I know their faces. I know the
He doesn't know our name. Sorry.
Maybe he might. Well, he feels like, I feel like whenever he sees you three, he's like, my people. He does do that.
That's true. He did it for them too. That's true.
So there you go.
Sure.
When he's on Twitch.
I feel like he's not good with names in general, but I feel like I understand. He does. There are people that he like will reach out to or talk to more.
I'm just kidding. Sorry, it just came out. I'm kidding.
I don't know why
He
you guys
knows
say he
everyone,
doesn't
of
know
course.
you.
What am I saying?
Today I choose to remember the time that after I had met him 20 plus times, I walked up to him and he said, "Nice to meet you."
Ah.
Oh my god!
So today I choose to remember that.
Okay, that's fair.
But then he said again.
I choose to remember
He did
that.
say
and
again.
Then call his bluff and say, I dare you to remember my name.
Yes. So
Okay.
And then he said to Diane, "It's nice to meet you." And then she's like, "Excuse me?" And then he said again. And then she's like, "Uh-huh." And he's like, "Oh, you look different." And then Diane said, "No, I don't. I look exactly the same."
Oh
But
my.
Sophia,
I also said that if you can
We
start
missed
talking
that
about the function-
interaction.
All right, we don't have much time. Shall we continue? Okay.
But there's other times where he's lovely. It has been.
I don't remember any of them right now.
Continue, Lydia.
Thank you. Okay, when Nick plays on Twitch, his fans play with him. Nick believes that blockchain is a more efficient way to connect with his fans because it's more direct. Also, should they bring some social media is also a point.
Social media is also yes.
He can't get money from us. So that's the truth. Okay.
Well, he gets money on Twitch. People subscribe for some reason and just send random money. I don't know why.
Yep. You guys can also subscribe to my goddamn channel.
We want some
Super
popcorn to throw at the computer?
I know
Yes.
it.
I would love some popcorn.
Thank you. Nick mentions DeFi, which is short for decentralized finance, which is an umbrella term for Ethereum and blockchain applications geared towards disrupting the financial intermediates, aka banks. So
Thank you.
I totally was paying attention at that part.
I know that's why I had to look all this up. I said an example of how what Brian uses is that Nick was on the cover of the magazine. Someone buys it. Nick isn't aware of who that is because it's gone through the retail chain. But with an NFT, you can see who has it. So Kenny's take was this could be for nefarious intentions when it comes to resale. Nick might want a cut of every time an NFT sells.
Maybe.
Also, maybe.
Possible.
Is that how these NFTs work?
Probably. I agree with Kenny.
Okay. Okay. So then it turns every transaction into peer-to-peer with tokenization, like trading marbles or stickers with your friends. It's essentially kind of how that kind of relates to itself.
I still am having a hard time wrapping my head around this. As someone who is a millennial and has collected things, it's hard for me to understand that a picture that anyone can see with their eyes is rare. I was like, you own
the rights to it.
Are you own the rights to what? Are you going to be able to print T-shirts with this picture on it? No,
Maybe.
you don't. I don't think so. I don't think any of this stuff. It's a picture.
Yeah, but it's you own it. It's mine. It's weird. Okay, let me just keep going because
Where's my weird little digital trading card that nobody wants because they have the exact same thing.
I know it's true.
We were forced into having an NFT that I didn't even want.
But maybe
It's a
it'll be
video.
worth something.
That we already saw, right?
Lydia, everyone got the exact same
It's a
thing.
7-second video
I
that
know.
thousands of people have. What am I going to do with it?
But listen, I feel like Backstreet Boys, no offense, Nick, once they die, they're going to be like the Beatles. And like their shit's going to be like, oh, the Backstreet Boys were the greatest boy band of all time.
But it's
Here, I have
not
an NFT.
rare if thousands of people have it.
Then
but
you
not
can just
everyone
go
has
on
it.
YouTube and actually watch the full clip that's not cut off.
But you won't own
Yes,
the clip.
exactly. So you don't have to
ownership's
pay for
not there.
anything. It's free.
What am I going to do with it?
I don't know. Like
No
you're
one
gonna have it in
wants
you're gonna have it in your crypto wallet so you can look at it like a scrapbook.
Be like, oh wow, this thing that I can go to YouTube and see. Amazing.
Correct.
See?
It's all about ownership. It's all about the money these people want. Okay,
But
rich
it's not
people
worth
do rich
anything.
things. But it is and it isn't. Okay, let me just keep going because
It
we are
isn't.
running.
It's not worth shit.
Let's
It's
keep going. Okay.
worthless.
Okay, it has implications for intellectual property, metadata, and media production. Metadata is like properties attached to an item. He says a lot. This Brian guy says a lot of shit.
Yeah, he was talking a lot of gibberish, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on here.
He's the
Binary.
CEO of the company. He needs to know about this shit.
I know. Talks about binary relationships and all that stuff. And then Nick and Brian, essentially, long story short, are going to experiment, see what sticks. Nick is working on his solo album really hard.
really awkward.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh, they're going to experiment with their binary.
I don't know. So he's working on this really hard on his solo album because it's a reflection of his brand. And then regarding tech, Nick is at the forefront of something special. People are going to have to get over that learning curve. Chinzia, he's talking to you.
Okay, but we already have this learning curve because you go to Spotify or whatever and you buy or you go to Apple Music and you buy the album. Although now you don't need to buy albums because they just put them on Spotify and you listen to them for free.
Not for free, you pay for the streaming service. Or you
Yes,
listen
but
to
you can also
commercials.
still get the free version. You just
But then you have to listen to commercials, and the advertising revenue that they get still goes to the artist. So I will learn about crypto when Nick learns grammar. Thank you.
Okay. And then essentially...
Valid point. Okay, excellent.
Don't worry. Nick was so bored during this interview that he was buying tokens during it.
Oh my god, that was hilarious!
What?
I was like,
And then he tried to be like, "Oh, nothing. Everything's fine. Don't worry."
yeah.
What? He was buying tokens.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get that? And then that's
Did
when
I
he's like,
zone
this
out
is
at that
not
part?
financial advice, everyone. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, it was funny.
That was pretty funny.
But lots of people in music and sports love the blockchain. And my take is that Brian and Nick are using each other. Nick uses Brian for blockchain advice. Brian uses Nick to gain access to famous people and PR.
I think that's valid. Valid.
Sorry. I'm putting it out there. Like, no
No.
one's, there's always something, right?
That's valid. That's very valid.
Yeah.
Rich
Nick-
people bullshit.
It did
Yeah.
sound that like Brian was very much up Nick's ass, though. He was very
Yeah.
fanboying.
And
at
they're hanging out.
Very
at the-
complimentary and
Yeah. Oh, he's like, Nick went to San Diego to hang out with Brian at the horse races. I'm like, you're fucking rich. What do you need to be betting on horses for? And then
That's
Kenny
what
was
we're
like,
gonna do.
this is not. Nick didn't go to the horses. Brian went to the horses because Brian's like, fuck, I need to finance this fucking thing. And then Nick's like,
When
need
was
money?
this part of the interview?
did you miss it?
no, I heard.
Thank you, Sophia. Okay.
Was it at the end of this?
Did you skim through?
You know what? I was very
She
stressed.
heard it in the car. She said, right?
That's
So
okay.
She was
No, that's
driving.
true.
Yes.
You're right. You're right. Exactly.
Michael
Everyone
is
has,
not rich, and he's into horse racing.
maybe he's richer than you think he is.
He's not.
I'm just saying, okay, I'm saying the horse racing thing, Brian was doing that. Nick was like, I need to meet with this guy and like a mutual thing to see if I can use him to further my career. Let's be honest. Like this,
Yes.
these are two hand in hand. Nick is an investor in this
But that's
company.
kind of how businessmen work, right?
I get it.
I'm
I
a
get it.
businessman. Remember that?
Oh, yes, it is. That's a different story for another day.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay,
Lydia.
so essentially, Nick still has stage fright even to this day, which is sweet. He said, if you don't have nerves, you don't have a heart, you don't have a soul. You're not feeling anything.
Howie said the same thing though when we went to that one Howie thing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
He still gets nervous on stage and
Oh,
stuff, which I
sweet.
think is kind of
Yeah.
bizarre. for some
That means
reason.
you care. That means you care
then
about
you
your
keep doing
performance.
your
You
post,
care
right?
about what you do. That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. So I am nearing the end of my notes, guys, and then we can like kind of deep dive into other things. Okay, so I said Nick says Brian is invigorating investors. And
Oh,
Brian
okay.
has not shaved or showered because he's so invested in HUMBL. He's just focusing on making a great business.
Yeah. Maybe
Nick does
don't
not-
share that information.
I know, that was
So I
gross.
haven't
was
seen
like,
the video version, but now I have a horrible picture of what this man looks like in my head.
it's like these onion smell vibes.
Oh my god, that picture is funny.
Yeah. Yeah, typical neck beard is what I'm kind of thinking. but
Sorry, I just went to turn on a light.
So
That's
this
okay, no
is
worries.
man's name, Brian Foote.
Brian
Yes.
Foote. Yeah, he probably smells like a foot. But God bless.
Oh my god! Yeah.
He doesn't shower.
What if he looks like a foot too?
I don't
He was
know.
not, here he is. Hold on. How do I share the screen?
At the bottom where it says share plus.
More rich people things that they don't shower for some reason.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, when the celebrities were like saying, "Oh, they don't bathe and
Nick
stuff,"
can
I'm like,
probably relate. I've heard some rumors.
I've also
girl. Girl.
Okay, do you see anything?
Ah!
Okay. Here he is.
I mean,
He's
oh,
doing
no.
this. So if you want to follow him, he is Brian Foote or Footy, HUMBL CEO.
I'm sorry.
Of
I'm
course,
sorry.
this thing says no days off. I would rather stick a fork in my eye.
Oh my god,
Okay,
Well,
I'm
there
sorry.
you
Here he is.
that's a good
Man
visual.
showered.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. You know what? I was rude by going when I saw the picture. I was
That's not any better.
I was expecting something else, but
He's expecting a foot.
no, I don't know. Just like I don't know.
I feel like when you say I don't shower or whatever, you get a vision in your head of things.
I did.
Yes.
I did. Yeah. Okay. And like
True.
really, we shouldn't be talking bad about this guy because he's probably actually going to listen to this interview. Maybe.
Yeah, he's.
Probably.
It's great. Good for
Yeah,
him for
that he has
doing
a halo
that.
on his head. He's very tall.
It's hard to know
Is this
whether or not.
Vegas? This kind
Yeah,
of
it's
looks like the
Vegas.
Venetian.
Yeah, man.
It is a Venetian, yeah. It's hard to know, right? Because like sometimes the people who you think be nice to potential rich people, but at the same time we don't know because okay. Anyways, let's get to the end of my story. Okay, hold on. So he hasn't showered.
Nice to
Okay.
potential rich people.
Nick said does not envy him. He'd rather be in the music industry. So then I have long story short. This is the end of my notes. Long story short,
Woo.
Blocks, BLOCKS, Blocks is a blockchain in Wyoming. HUMBL is a consumer blockchain company. So to do like payments, ticketing, and NFTs. Nick is an investor in HUMBL. HUMBL is collabing with Blocks as of October 31st of this year. HUMBL as of today is worth 62 cents a share. Blocks is worth 5 cents a token. For the investing people, to make this kind of clear. Okay, so for Ethereum was worth $400 in November of 2020, and is now worth 4,000 as November of 2021. So essentially, long story short from this is that these are potential things to invest in. Nick has a vested interest because he is an investor. So take from that what you will. If you want to jump on the blockchain with Nick, invest as well.
How do you buy things? Is that Wealth Simple app? Like,
so to buy, okay, so to be a day trader, you need to set up Yahoo Finance because like technically Wealth Simple and all that, they have a day delay. So if you want like fast turnaround, that's what you have to do day trading. But if you want to be like a long-term investor, then you do Wealth Simple, or like any of those other crypto wallets where like you verify your identity, put money in, buy and sell stocks, but they're not in real time. So it's more like if you're going to do that, you're going to have to sit on it for a very long time.
right, because we're not getting into stock trading. But if you want to be like, all right, I'll throw, I don't know, how much would you even need? $100, $2,000? Like, I know nothing. So
whatever you want is what you put in. I mean, I've been interested in crypto for a while. I mean, obviously, we could never like Bitcoin, for example, is like one Bitcoin is worth like I think $70,000. So you can buy bits of Bitcoin. Like there's a lot of things you could do. Just obviously do your research. It's kind of there's a lot. It's a lot. It's very confusing. But I think he's
$76,000 is how much a Bitcoin is right now.
Yeah. I don't know what.
So I guess if we would have invested back in the day when it first came out,
yeah,
probably be very rich right now. But
I know. Like Nick's end game is he's like, I have a fan base who is willing to do anything for me. Perhaps I will take advantage of him. But I don't think it's with ill intent. I think he's. And then, like, I mean, because there's two sides to every story, right? You could be like, holy shit, like, I love my fans. They've loved me for 30 years. I want to give back to them. I want them to be as rich as me. This is great. That's one side. The other side is, how do I get more money from these people who don't have fucking money? Okay, I'm going to get them to invest in something that I'm backing, because if I say it's good, they'll buy into it, and then I'll become rich. Because I'm influencing their decisions.
More rich. Yes. She's already rich.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, it's kind of hard to know.
I don't think Nick has the sleaze factor of a Lou. I think he's going into this.
Well, don't go on space.
Cynthia, do you remember he had a show where he literally made a boy band? Do you remember that?
He was a host. He was a judge on the show.
You don't think that he was behind that?
I don't think he produced the show.
I don't know. I just think that he has the makings of what could become a future Lou. I want him to be very careful because that's a slippery slope, man.
I feel like he gets excited about things and just wants to share these things with other people sometimes, not understanding ramifications of things, right?
Well, that's why he has pros to do the work for him. He's the pretty boy, okay? Mr. Foote's doing all the work here. And that's the whole reason why this relationship exists, is because he's taking advantage.
Who's telling Nick to do these things?
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. It's interesting.
But when Nick explains it, yeah.
Because something as simple as social influence can influence the stock market. Anytime Elon Musk sneezes, people go mental. Right?
Let me buy this $400 flamethrower because Elon Musk told me to. Like,
I was considering that. Actually, I was like, flamethrower. But yeah, it's just okay. But it's true.
Did he even deliver these fucking flamethrowers?
Yeah, he couldn't deliver to some countries, but essentially the flamethrower, what it was like a roofing. It was a roofing tool that he just renamed a flamethrower. So some countries would accept it, some others didn't. So we had to refund it. Long story short, it could be interesting.
It could be interesting.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. Yeah, but I kind of.
I
Okay, well, let's not
understand
get
his
into it.
point, but I also
Yes.
yeah.
Cynthia, do you know how corrupted these charities are?
He
You
has a
work for a
good
charity?
point there.
That's a good point. I feel like someone needs to call his bluff on that and actually put together something.
Yeah, they should. They really
Yes,
should.
definitely.
Because I feel like if somebody actually were to put something together, he'd be like, "Sure, whatever, I'll give you the 6
No,
million."
but the person who said that it would originally said that if he gave 2.5 billion, it would end world hunger. And then he was like, itemize for me how 2.5 million is going to end world hunger. And then they were like, oh no, I misspoke. It's not going to end world hunger, but it would be like, and all of a sudden they were retracting like crazy. So
Very interesting.
Well, I
I
feel
mean,
like some
we
people need to just figure out how to do that.
Yeah, like hello. We're in 20
maybe
almost 2022.
maybe instead of going
dude's
to
worth, like,
space, you
300
could
and
help with
$80
that.
And you know, these
we
are
can
the
do all of
things
it.
that are happening in the world. People are starving, but you know, let's talk about
NFT.
Going out of
NFTs.
space for 10 minutes.
wasting your money on garbage that you don't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Valid. Very true.
Anyways.
On that
makes
note,
sense.
I thought
Thank
it was
you,
an okay
Lydia.
review.
yes.
Well, I thought, well, yeah, so too. I mean, we all did good. We all
Oh,
did
yeah.
I know, I'm sorry I took over the episode. I just
No,
I'm
no.
like,
This
I'm
is
the
very appreciated. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm like, I'm the
My
tech
notes were
person.
just point form. Yours is very thorough. Excellent
Okay.
job.
Good. All right. So, guys, we are obviously not investors. Please be careful, whatever you do. But
Do not
if you make
invest
it
in
big,
things before
let me know.
researching them.
Yes. And I know everyone loves Nick Carter, but also don't do.
Not everyone.
Everyone but Diane loves Nick Carter.
As of today.
Just
Well,
for today. Maybe she'll love him tomorrow.
But essentially what we're saying is do your own research, talk to your own financial planner. Don't just go into things blindly because a celebrity has told you, hey, it's cool.
Yes. Yes.
You know, it's essentially.
Valid.
And I think it's going to take me a while as an older millennial to understand all this NFT stuff and if it's actually like worth anything or not.
It's exciting.
And it could all be
yeah.
gone next year. You never know.
But if you don't try, you never know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good.
On that note,
Thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
until next time,
Thanks for listening.
bye.
Bye.